Hello, my name is Dr. Ford and I'm a registered dietitian, and I'm going to talk to you today about meal planning and what I look for as a professional in the field of food. And so when you're meal planning, one of the things that I definitely look for is their balance. And so it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect and strict, which some personalities do like that. However, sometimes the perfection and the strictness can really cause the nervous system to, I'm going to use the word turn on, and that spikes up cortisol levels, which can have a cascade effect in what it does to your blood sugar, cascade effect in what it does to your hormones. And so you want to pay attention to your response and what you're thinking and feeling about the food and the meal plan. It's almost just as important as the actual food. However, if I'm just looking at the meal plan, I typically like to divide it up into, it depends upon the lifestyle, but if I'm just meeting someone for the first time, 4 to 6 times a day. Now, some people only eat twice a day. Some people eat 10 times a day. So it really does need to be individualized, but I'll typically divide up meals into, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Sometimes what people like is in the morning and then maybe 3 to 4 hours later, and then maybe 3 to 4 hours later, and then 3 to 4 hours later. So it kind of looks like 4 meals per se. And then what I'm looking for is, one, does it have enough energy in regards to carbohydrates? What I didn't say is, it does have enough grains. A lot of times people think carbohydrates means grains. Not necessarily, but as micro and macronutrients, I'm like, are they getting their carbohydrates? You can find carbohydrates in grains. You can find it in ancient grains. You can find it in beans. You can find it in fruits. You can find it in vegetables. You can find it in dairy. So it can be sourced from a lot of different food groups. And you do need, most people do need carbohydrates for long-term health. And so if you're specifically trying to shift the body into a different burn, maybe not using carbohydrates as your main fuel, that's a different conversation. So most people long-term for health do the best with a carbohydrate-based diet. What I didn't say was high carb. I didn't say low carb. Typically, that's sometimes around 250 to 350 grams of carbs. Again, it's so different for everybody. I almost kind of pause saying the numbers, but some people like numbers. Some low carbs diets go less than 50, almost to 0. If that's something that you're doing, I would definitely recommend that you have some sort of coach or advisor or someone that is aware of what you're doing. Don't follow TikTok. Maybe, but don't follow someone that did something on the weekend. That would be my best professional recommendation. Definitely fall on an expert and assess their opinion. I don't think there's any pill, potion, or program that's really meant to hurt you, but long-term changes require long-term, lifelong habits. The other one is protein. I would say, okay, most people don't have enough protein in my experience with people. So where are you getting your protein from? Sometimes people aren't even aware what protein is. So we would look at protein. There's plant or animal. You can use supplements. Collagen is not a complete protein. So you want to make sure that the majority of your protein is not just coming from collagen. And that's just a hot supplement right now in 2024. Then I would look at fats. Are you getting enough fats? You do need some fats, whether it be from plant or animal, for essential fatty acids, for omega-3s, omega-6s, which are mostly from plants. Your body does not make some of them. And so having them will help hormones, will help brain health, will help energy reserves. It will help a ton of things, body temperature control. It will help skin. Protein is more going to help your skin, your hair, and your nails. But then also the vitamins and the things that you need to help with the hormonal production comes from a lot of fat-soluble vitamins, which you need fat. So nutrients really work all together really well. The micronutrients, you have major minerals and trace. You do need them. And so you're going to get a really good dose of them from a lot of plant-based products like grains that are made in really good soil. Also maybe some sort of seafood, shellfish. They're going to have lots of trace minerals, major minerals, and plants. So fruits and vegetables. If you are lacking any sort of plants in your diet, I would recommend a supplement. Supplements make it about a 3% difference, but it is a good difference. And then if you feel like you're low in things, I would recommend getting some blood work, checking your levels. We did it all the time in the bariatric surgical center, where pre and post, we would check levels of vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, B1, B2, B3, because with malabsorption, which sometimes that happens with bariatric surgery, you don't absorb things properly and you can become deficient, which can be a consequence of deficiency of micronutrients is disease. So you can check those things. It does take a little bit of extra effort in asking some coordination of care. You'd also do tests where you look at what minerals and trace minerals on hair tests or fecal tests or different things to look at the gut. That's a whole separate conversation. Yet you can look at, what are my resources? What's in my body? When you are changing a meal plan, it takes about 90 days to see effects. You might feel better somatically, but actually to see effects about 90 days, which is about 12 weeks, 3 months. So be patient. What you do now, if there are changes, you will see hopefully in 12 to 13 weeks. If not, what you're doing isn't potentially consistent enough or not impactful enough for your body. So you make changes, but you got to be patient. Anything quick usually reverses itself faster. So the quicker the intervention, usually the shorter the results. So slow, patient work is true for the inner work, is also true for the outer work, and that's true transformation. So again, what I'm looking at is consistency throughout the day, which sometimes doesn't work for everybody, but for the majority, and then looking for all 3 of the nutrients. And then for the micronutrients, I look at what kind of plant-based foods they're having. And is most of the foods coming from food groups, or most of the foods coming from supplement or packages? Food is best. Choose food and then supplement the rest if you don't have access to the food. I hope this is helpful. Good luck meal planning. If you need any support, reach out for help. If not, find someone online that can support you, that has the education or expertise that matches what you want. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.